Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. This is our last day for America Saves this week. And we're so happy that you're here to join us. And we're going to get ready to get started. So today is Savings at Any Age. And my name is Dominique Velger. I'm the Community Engagement Specialist.
My name is Terrence Brazil. I'm also a community engagement specialist, and I'm going to walk you through the first few slides and talk about today's webinar. So we will be reducing all background noise. Everyone has been muted, so no need to worry about that. Please use the Q&A feature to submit any questions. The chat has been disabled. And this presentation is being recorded and will be posted on our YouTube channel at myhuecu.com to rewatch. And please stay at the end of the web shop so that way you can take our survey and let us know how we did, how we can improve, what changes we can make for the future.
All right, and these wonderful people standing by, they are our panelists today. I will introduce them, and then after my introduction, I'm going to go off camera, and then we'll, start the webinar. So Ryan Douglas, he has been an employee at HUECU for the past 8 years. He's dedicated to providing excellent service for our members. And in 2020, Ryan joined HUECU's mortgage department, where he continued to provide this excellent service to the members of the Harvard community as they achieve home ownership. He enjoys taking the time to educate and work with his members closely to make the mortgage process and route to becoming a homeowner very seamless. And next we have Marian Gambardella. Well, she is the training specialist here at Harvard University Employees Credit Union. She joined back in October of 2000 as the credit union branch manager, servicing the MGH brand and Massachusetts General Brigham communities. Her 49-year career in the development in the financial industry has allowed her to experience numerous roles, including her most recent training and development. Marilyn is a certified facilitator, integrity selling, customer service system, and her passion for credit unions and their philosophy of people helping people expands to her current affiliated position as treasurer of the Metro Boston chapter of the Cooperative Credit Union Association. Wow, that's a mouthful. Marilyn is also a leadership facilitator with the Girl Scouts of Eastern Massachusetts. Marilyn attended the American Institute of Banking and Merrimack College, where she majored in business management. And last but not least, Jawahir Mohammed. She's a sophomore here at Harvard. She's studying psychology and economics. She has a keen interest in acquiring and spreading financial knowledge to immigrant communities and strives to apply her academics to rebuilding her Somali community, both abroad and here in the US. On campus, she is a member of HUECU's Student Advisory Council, as well as co-officer of Harvard's first Black Muslim student organization. In her free time, she enjoys traveling and seeing a new part of the world. So welcome everyone, and welcome to this webinar. So we're gonna get started. It's gonna be a lot of Q&A that many of you submitted prior to where you guys registered. So first things first, we're gonna do the first slide.
Yes, so the first question is, how much should I have in savings in my early career days? This is a good question because I often found myself asking this before I started college. I wouldn't say there's a set amount that you should have saved. This will vary from person to person, circumstance to circumstance. But what I'm currently doing that I found has worked for me is saving 50% of my income towards needs and 30% of my income towards my wants, whether that's skincare, clothing, anything that I just want. And then I save the last 20% towards saving and investment. And I found that this works for me because I'm not compromising anything. I'm still getting the things that I want, the things that I need, and I'm not discouraged from saving. I wish I started this sooner because I just turned 20 and I didn't start saving until I turned 20. And so you definitely don't want to do that. I would say coming into college, it's good to have something saved up because you never know what will happen. I know a few of my classmates who have had to fly back home all of a sudden, and they just didn't have the resources to do so, or their laptop broke down in the middle of finals week and they didn't have any savings or any money to go replace it. And so you never know what will happen on campus or just in life in general. So having this backup fund will help to make life much easier and ease any stress that you may encounter. And it doesn't have to be for emergency either. You might decide you want to move in the summer or after graduation, or you want to travel or go somewhere. You don't want money to be the reason you can't do the things that you want to do or you need to do. So it's always best to just have something saved up in case of an emergency or just unexpected life circumstances. So yeah, I found that 50, 30, 20% rule has worked for me. If you're entering college now or you're just starting, I would definitely advise you to save at least something. Not anything like crazy, like 50% of your income, because then you won't want to save. You'll be discouraged from saving, and you might want to dabble into that fund and just use it. But if you're saving something like 20%, it's still a substantial amount that will benefit you in the future, but you won't feel the effects of it currently. So I would say that's what's working for me. I would advise you guys to try it out for yourselves.
Right. Great tips there, Dara here. Our next question is, how much should I have for a healthy retirement? And that could be Ryan and Marilyn to answer those. So the tips that you guys have had.
Yeah, I'll start this one off. So, I mean, with this one, I'm kind of in the middle of my career. And one of the things I like to take a look at is, you log into TIA, CREF, Fidelity, all these websites. It says, like, hey, can you retire on X amount that you are currently projected to save? And when I see that, I tend to make adjustments there. So I'm things have a little shifted, for me being kind of, mid-career, family. I recently had a daughter. So, I'm kind of saving for her, but I also got to look ahead into down the road. Are we going to be, my wife and I, are we going to be comfortable on this? So kind of play it by ear, see how it's going. But yeah, that's how I kind of gauge that case by case. You can make updates on PeopleSoft, Self-Direct, or whoever your HR is to kind of align with those ideas there.
Miss Marilyn.
Yeah, I'm gonna hop in here. It can be overwhelming, but honestly,
Yes.
there's really no one size fits all. And I think you really have to kind of like step back and what are your goals for retirement? Are you looking to travel? Are you looking to relocate to warmer weather? Honestly, yes, very, very important that you do have money put aside. My recommendation would perhaps be to engage with a financial planner. If you do go online, again, it can be overwhelming when you see that, well, you need $2 million to earn the same salary that you're earning now as you're employed. So yeah, it's again not a one size fits all. Everyone has different goals. Step back and kind of evaluate what those are, and again, engage with a financial planner to assist you.
All right. Good
Just
tips
to add
there.
one more quick.
Oh,
Sorry
sure.
about that.
No,
it just
that's
popped into my
fine. This
head.
is for everybody.
No, just with this kind of with the whole planning thing, and a great benefit at the credit union for all our members is Green Path Financial. You can go right to our website or swing into the branch, get the information. They can set you on your track there for your healthy retirement.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll put the link in the chat as well. Go ahead, Marilyn.
No, and there's also some great financial calculators out there, so that
Yes.
that can assist you as well along the way.
I think GreenPath has one on our site, and then you can actually do a lot of the crunch the numbers and see what you'll need to retire as well. All right, next question. I think that pertains to me too. If I'm a mid-career, what are some saving tips?
Okay, so I guess this one's for me. So I'm mid-career here. No problem. All mine. So kind of where I like to start, and this has kind of been my thing, since I started saving, early career, early life. Like to pay myself first just to get that out of the way. Direct deposits, take advantage of that. I have 10 to 15%. I kind of play around with it depending on, if there's any kind of expenses coming up, that I just go to an account that I know it's there. Another thing, definitely taking advantage of pre-tax, gains there. Like with my daughter, I'm starting to save for her college, so I'm focusing on that. 529 college plan, helps me to take advantage of that. Also, setting up IRA accounts just to kind of focus on that, which again, credit union offers IRA accounts and some great information on them. So just help you on there to maximize those savings.
What about if you get a raise? Do you usually take it and then go on vacation? Or do you
Oh
save
yeah,
it?
absolutely. Yeah.
Or any bonuses?
I pretend that never existed. I like to just send that away and keep living how I was, my current lifestyle previously. So that way it's there for a rainy day.
Okay, and we have a lot of those, sadly. Thank you, Ryan. Our next question. Yes. Our next question is having a savings account enough? What are my other options?
I'm going to hop in here right now because I'm going to reflect on the rate environment that we're all experiencing right now, and your certificate of deposit rates. They're increasing, but one thing that I'm finding and I'm truly appreciative of is that most financial institutions are kind of thinking outside of your standard 6-month, 12-month, 18 months. So now you may have a 9-month or an 11-month certificate available. And I'm a large proponent of CD laddering, that not putting all your eggs in one basket, spreading it out so that every few months, when your CDs are maturing, so that money's available should you need it, or fingers crossed, the rates may have increased during that time where you can actually push it out to a longer term CD and get a higher rate of return.
Ryan?
Yep. So, savings accounts are obviously great. They're liquid. You can access them if you need it. But, sometimes you kind of need that kickstart into savings. And a good thing that I like is like a time deposit, were they the seasonal, why can't I remember, the vacation and the holiday clubs, things of that nature. So one's going to pay out in the fall, one pays out in the spring. That way you can't really access the funds. It's going to force you into this kind of savings, mentality here, and then it's going to pay out. So it's, it's a great option out there that I like. Another good thing is money market accounts. It's a little more liquid, obviously, than a CD, but, going to give you a higher rate of return as well.
Do any of you do automatic transfer? Oh, go ahead, Marilyn.
Yeah, I'm also a proponent of the club accounts because of the time of year that they're paid out. I've found that a lot of people, in addition to perhaps saving for the holidays, they might put a little extra money in that club because come January 1st, all of a sudden car insurance is due, or there's annual expenses that are due at that time. And also with the vacation club, that's paid out say the beginning of summer. I think it's May 1st, and that's when a lot of people perhaps with children may have summer camp expenses, or they're looking to do other things at that time of year. So I think just the timeliness of the payout, it's a good opportunity to save for other means as well.
Do any of you do a direct automatic savings, direct deposit, like just take it and put it in a different bank? That's not even the credit union altogether. And that's for all three of you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Like to hide it from myself.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have the same thing. I just the fact that I have to put my clothes on, go to that bank. I was like, okay, forget it. I lost that loving feeling, so I don't even bother. So that's a good way. Our next question is how to balance short, medium, and long-term savings priorities. That's for, I guess, all three of you guys.
Okay, I just keep looking down. Okay. First of all, I agree with pay yourself first. Get automated deductions right out of your paycheck. You don't see it, you're not going to miss it. I also feel that I myself, we just talked about, you have that little account set aside at a different financial institution. I have what I call my mad money account. It's not that I'm mad or I'm angry. It's for when that urge of spending madness sets in, that, okay, it's there, it's available. Should I want to go, crazy with spending, or I'm saving for something that I've truly wanted for a long time.
Yeah, the way I balance these is just having, going back to all different accounts and direct deposit. I have, this account, which I know is going to be, hey, this is for paying the mortgage. This is hey, we're going on vacation down the road. I need to, that way it's just kind of all spread out. It's in different buckets. I know it's going to be saving, accumulating. I try my best not to look at it, but, obviously with setting the priorities, you just really need to take a good look at your, what you're looking to save for, and, a realistic number that you can save for. Are they going to be a fixed expense, or is this something, that's going to be kind of like, spending for fun, something like that? What's going to take the priority? So.
You want to add anything, Jara, here?
Yeah, for me, I keep all of my money in one bank. But I found that having a savings account that I don't have like an actual card for has helped me a lot. So I just put my money in that savings account, and I honestly just forget about it. Like the only time I remember is when I actually log into the app and I see it, which I don't do often. So I found that works for me.
Great tips. Thank you. Our next question: how to save for college expenses as parents and students? You guys can take your turn because it applies to all of you.
Yeah, I can start with this one. So I actually wrote a blog article for HUECU. You can find it on the website. It was titled, I believe, How to Survive Boston as a College Student. And I basically recommended a few places to find affordable groceries, clothing, anything of that sort. So definitely check that out. But more broadly, I would say the main thing would be to apply to as many scholarships as you can. And when I was applying, I found that I used to avoid the smaller scholarships, like the $500 a year, because I just assumed, what is $500 going to do for me? But if you apply to multiple small scholarships, your chances of getting the scholarships, A, it's much higher, and B, the money will add up. It will definitely add up, and it will benefit you, and your future self will thank you. So definitely apply to scholarships. And I would also say to make as many sacrifices as you can earlier on. And by this, I mean foregoing any unnecessary personal expenses. Like, I know it's very easy to like fall into trends and just want to buy and splurge on like new shoes, new dorm supplies. Like, if it's not necessary and you don't have the money for it, try to allocate that money towards a savings account and use it for necessary things that you actually need.
I'm going to hop in as a parent of 2 college graduates. My advice is, yes, do save. I know my children, I don't even know, they always had savings bonds that we used as part of their education. Kind of going with the experience with the first one, as opposed to the second one, my recommendation is go where you get the money. Save that money that you would have paid at another college and put it towards your master's degree. I also feel that when you're looking at colleges, the location, because there's a lot more expenses involved with college, and it could be we're in Massachusetts. Are they going to school in California? How are they going to get home for the holidays? All right, so you might have other expenses as well. So it's a big expense. Yes, I do have one. I'm not going to lie, that is still paying student loans to this day. He's done very, very well for himself. I'm not saying that there is any regrets for the college that he chose, but again, live and learn. I would recommend going where they get the money as well.
Okay, so just touching base, I'm just starting to save. I have a 9-month-old daughter, so just starting to save, trying my best, but obviously fingers crossed for some scholarships and some assistance down the road here, and got about 17 years to figure it out. So, but yeah, definitely just trying to save as much as I can, reasonable, just to help her out in the future, of course.
Hopefully
doing the
she'll
right
take a
thing.
sports. Yeah, maybe she'll like take up a sport or something.
Oh yeah, I mean, we'll be running wind sprints in the backyard later on today, getting her ready. Sports scholarship, yeah.
I love it, love it, love it, love it. Our next question. I'm a student with a small income. What is the smartest thing to do with what I save? And by the way, as Dara here is thinking about this, Terrence is putting a lot of the links in the chat. And if you have any questions, please feel free to put that in the Q&A as well. I'm going to toss it over to you, Dara, here.
Yeah, so this is something I'm currently trying to figure out. And I found that the smartest thing to do with what I save is honestly to just save it, not use it, put it away somewhere, and just access it when I feel like I need to, like I actually need to, and there's no other alternative. But I honestly just try to, like I said, I follow the 50-30-20% rule, and I found that works perfect for me. With anything that I can save, I just save it. Out of sight, out of mind, I don't touch it. Yeah, that's honestly what has worked for me. Marilyn, Ryan, if you guys have any advice, that would be perfect.
I mean, something you can do is just, look for something with a strong interest rate. Currently, there's some great CDs out there that out of sight, out of mind. It's also locked up there. If you try to access it, you're going to be penalized. So that's always a deterrent from spending money, to lose on the interest and, kind of what you put in there. So you can look for that. I would just say, just items like that with the highest interest rate, especially now, there's some great ones out there, pretty attractive rates that you can, maximize your profit there with the money that's sitting in a small savings account.
Someone has a question in the Q&A. They said, can you say more about the 50-30 and 20 rule?
Yes. Okay. So let's say I make $100 a week. I will use 50% I'll use $50 for things that I actually need. So toothpaste, medication, just personal necessities, things that you can't do without. And then the other $30 I would use for things that I want, like my skincare, shoes, clothing, if I want to eat out, just things that I can treat myself with. And then the other $20 I would just put in my savings account. Oftentimes I don't use all $50 for things that I need. So instead of taking it and putting it into the savings account, because if I do that, I know I'll think to myself like, oh, it wasn't supposed to be there anyways. Let me just go back and take the money out. I just try to avoid touching my savings account as much as I can. So I would just keep the $50. And then maybe next week, I'll switch it up and save 30%. And then only use 40% for my needs. And then, so I just adjust based off of my personal circumstance and like how I'm doing at the moment. But try to just divide your money up in a way that you won't be discouraged from saving. Don't compromise the things that you want to buy, the things that you need to buy just for the sake of saving. Find a balance so that saving won't feel as tedious or burdensome on you. So yeah, let me know if that clarified your question.
Yes. Keep the questions coming in the Q&A. We'll, answer them live. So we're going to move on to the next question. And the next question is, what are some saving strategies and when you are on a tight budget? I guess that could be for all three of you guys.
I can go. I would say this sounds very, very like it's too simple, but stick to your budget. If you have a budget, stick to it. If you don't have money to go out every Friday night, don't go out every Friday night. Try to live within your means and I feel like this applies more towards like students, but don't fall to like the social pressures to go out, to spend money, to have the latest shoes or like the latest clothing. If you can't afford it, don't buy it. Honestly, that's what I would say.
Yeah, that was good. And just to kind of follow up on that, avoiding credit card debt is, I think, one of the best strategies. Just again, stick with your budget, pay cash if you can, debit cards, just not be putting yourself into a deeper hole kind of to, keep up or, stay in the social trends.
I'm all for the free fun. So yeah, on a tight budget, I mean, we still want to enjoy our lives. A lot of your museums have free entry certain days of the week, or a lot of your employers may offer discounted tickets. So do take advantage of them, or do join walking clubs or book clubs, or things that are going to give you joy, but not get into your pocketbooks as well. So you're saving there.
And if you live in Boston, I have another tip. It's in the Boston Public Library, just getting a library card, a physical one and an e-card. You do have a lot of discounts for going to the museums, the aquarium. And with that card as well, if you want to take a trip to the Cape, the ferries can be very expensive. That library card can also get you some discounts as well. And then your student ID can get you certain stores. I think Madewell, J. Crew, and Taylor Loft. You use your ID, I think you get an extra 10% as your student ID. So those are, I've used them. So good little tips there. We do have a question in the Q&A. Someone says, do you have saving strategies for parents saving for kids who are going to college in just a couple of years?
I would say, with this is a great one. I would say if you could contact Green Path Financial through the credit union, just to kind of try to accelerate this if it's going to be a few years, to kind of maximize on that for you. Or, speaking with somebody, a financial planner or anybody, through just to kind of get you into the right savings vehicle that can kind of accelerate it, as I noted.
Right. And I agree. It's a few years out, but it's not too late. Something is better than nothing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And again, Terrence is putting a lot of these links in the chat for all of you. So you can, the blogs, as well as how to access Green Path. Next question. How can I save for big purchases, such as a home or a car? That's all of you guys.
I'll go first. I deal with this pretty frequently, being in the mortgage department. A lot of borrowers, when we have an initial conversation, it's kind of, how do we save for that down payment for your, your property? With this, we just need to you can meet with anybody really, if you're looking for a home, come to the mortgage department at the credit union. But, just in general, formalizing a plan, have your end goal, X amount, here's how much I'm going to put away each paycheck, just, you got to stick to it. You got to really be disciplined with it. And I'm a big advocate, use Excel spreadsheets. It's really it's relieving to kind of see how that all adds up and, how you kind of tick closer to that goal there and it's on track.
Marilyn and Jara here. Oh,
Yeah, no, I haven't started thinking about buying a home or a car, so I'm not sure, but I definitely agree with Ryan. I think discipline is everything, especially when you're just starting out. I feel like the more you sacrifice and the more disciplined you are at the beginning, the easier things will just be later on. So yeah, I second that, having a plan and sticking to it.
Yeah, I agree. It's a commitment, but do commit to it. Because there are long-term financial benefits from it, and stay consistent. Stay consistent.
Okay, next question. What are some saving strategies for people in their early 20s? They're here. Or all of you can answer that too. What did you do when you were in your early 20s?
Yeah, so I would say the biggest thing for me has been obviously, like I said, budgeting the 50-30-20% rule, but also taking advantage of the fact that I'm a student. A lot of companies offer discounts. Amazon Prime, I believe they have like a 6-month free student trial. So take advantage of those. Even within even on campus, there are a lot of companies nearby, like Pete's Coffee. I'm sure you guys may be familiar with if you're in the Cambridge area. They have like student discounts often. Boston Broadway Marketplace, every weekend they have I think like, what is it, 30% off for students if you have your Harvard ID. So definitely take advantage of the fact that you're still young. If you're a student, then great. If you're not, just budget, make sure you're living within your needs, like I said. Don't spend unnecessarily. And the best way to not spend unnecessarily would be to keep the money away from yourself. Like invest it or just put it in a savings account that you don't easily have access to, and just try to forget about it. That's what I would say.
I'll just give a quick, early 20s, honestly, in my early 20s, just trying to live within your means, and, just from experience, I remember, being early 20s, ton of roommates. It's a lot easier to split up those utility bills with, Wi-Fi comes in, oh, you're splitting it 5 ways, where, hey, now I'm in my 30s, it's split one way. So, I would just say, just absolutely, you just got to live within your means. Just analyze your current financial situation. You're at the beginning of your career, you don't want to be in the hole, and kind of just moving forward and making a plan work best.
We also have some questions in the Q&A. Someone asked, can I use the Green Path Financial Wellness Program if I am a staff member at Harvard, but not a credit union member?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's you're welcome. It's a benefit at the credit union, but you can absolutely reach out and they should be able to assist you. No problem.
Okay.
And you're
Even
eligible, for a membership with the credit union too, as well.
That's true. And once you're a member for life, and you can get like other family members, your children, spouse, to become members as well through their affiliation with you. We have another one. Maybe they said, why do some financial advisors advise against the 529 plans? And do you agree with saving for retirement as a parent before saving for your child's college education? I guess that both of you can answer that. Keep the questions coming, please, in the Q&A.
I'm not a financial advisor by any means, so I'm not gonna, kind of speak to the financial advice. I opened the 529 at the at the advice of my accountant. Was, just what I was told when I asked. Is that's the greatest pre-tax savings, for saving for college there. Initially I had it in a brokerage account, which he advised me against, because that could, once they're 18 years old, that could technically, you could run into some issues if they're trying to apply for financial aid down the road. It seemed like a good idea at the time, a few months ago when I opened it, but transferring it to the 529, just, so it was strictly for education expenses was, but I would check with an actual financial planner, don't take our advice for it. But yeah, I mean, there's so many options out there, they can absolutely set you up with what works best for you.
Marilyn?
Well, I keep going back to this, the question about you're educating your children, you're trying to save for retirement. That was kind of my focus for the next slide, but life happens. As a parent, we all love our children. We want them to be successful. I would say, again, is to look to a financial planner, bring these scenarios to them, and they can advise you what would be best. But I'm sorry, I just put my children first. little delay on the retirement, but we're going to talk about those next.
Okay. Next slide then. What savings mistakes have you made along the way, and what lessons have you learned?
I can start. For me, I would say thinking that because I can afford it, I should buy it. This applies specifically to impulse buying, especially on TikTok. I mean, I'm sure you guys may be familiar with that. Especially during like quarantine, anything that I saw that was trending that I could afford, I would buy it. And thankfully, I've stopped doing that by asking myself, like, Jawahir, can you find better use for that money? And the answer is always yes. So I found that has helped me. But yeah, definitely impulse buying is something that I regret doing. I'm happy that I learned from it. So yeah, I learned just because I can afford something doesn't mean I should buy it.
I just keep focusing on the word mistakes. And I just keep, in my experience, life happens, and we all don't have that crystal ball. And again, things happen in our lives. Nobody chooses to become ill. Nobody chooses to lose a job. Nobody chooses to get married, to get divorced. So there's a lot of twists and turns. Mistakes are far less important than the actions you take to move forward. So I just say, again, something is better than nothing. Be prepared as much as you can. It's not always perfect. Again, life twists and turns, but do have something in place. And when it happens, do step back and reevaluate your spending, your savings, your debt, and kind of approach it that way.
Just as like a personal anecdote, savings mistakes made along the way, kind of listening to the right and the wrong people, who doesn't like a get rich quick scheme in the stock? Somebody has a great idea, somebody's got this, and you kind of put some money towards there and it's gone. So there are, in my case, I don't know about anybody else's, but so it's just just really take the time to educate yourself on what you're investing in, or how you're gonna be allocating those funds, just to make sure that you're securing yourself for the future.
And I'm the queen of shopping. I'm a recovering shopaholic. So I have a friend, she's always buying a new outfit for whatever the occasion. And now with social media, she's like, well, I already wore that and I posted it and I can't wear it again. I'm like, you are not a celebrity. So whatever outfit you see that I have on, you will see it like 5 million times on social media because I paid for it. And so that will make you go broke, because if you're buying an outfit for every event, that will catch up to you really, really quickly.
You're gonna lose followers, Dominique.
Sorry. I still look cute. It's just different earrings or change my hair, but you'll see the same outfit because it is what it is. And then someone put on here, they said to you, Java here, oh yes, just because you can afford something doesn't mean you should buy it. And then someone else goes, cryptocurrency, following the hype is not always a great idea.
No, I didn't want to get into the internet hype, but yeah,
Right.
I'm glad you get what I was touching on, whoever that was.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I love Reddit, sorry.
Yeah, that's good. Okay. Keep the questions coming. They're really, really good questions, and any comments that you guys have. What else? Do you have any other questions coming up? Let's see. Oh, someone put another one. Yes, I'm sorry. But I make it look I make it look like it's a new outfit. I'm gonna lose followers. Sorry. It's all good. Most of them are my family members anyway. They still love me regardless. So it's all good. Yeah, but you can't afford an outfit every single time you're going to an event. Do something and recycle that outfit, because the ultimate goal is to save for those emergency days, because they do come up, sadly. Yes. Any other questions coming up? Let's see in the Q&A. Keep the questions coming. Nothing else. Okay. And again, Terrence has put a lot of there you go, popping up in here. Oh, go ahead.
I wanted to share one
Terrence is
last
a wise
one
man.
saving mistake. No, I'm not that wise. I'm very young. One saving mistake that I have made along the way is food. Food has been probably one of the biggest expenses when I first started my career. I didn't realize the little $12 here, $5 coffees did add up over time. And I learned very, very quickly if I was going to maintain a certain lifestyle, I had to start to learn how to cook at home. And some cooking classes online and YouTube, great way to pick up some tips and tricks and start that cooking journey. So that way you can have some great gourmet meals at home on a budget. That's my biggest mistake.
And it's easy to do because, you just go, let me just call Uber Eats or any of the other apps to just deliver the food for you. I find that especially if you're doing a hybrid position at your home, if you cook beforehand, you have it in there in your fridge, you just pop that in the microwave. And it's also a good way to keep your New Year's resolutions. A lot of people have made them like, I'm gonna lose weight. So if you cook, you can kind of stick to your plan a little bit better, because you know what you're putting into your mouth because you cooked it, you followed all the instructions, not too much carb, whatever it is that you're following, because it's easy to just go pick up that salad. Next thing you know, the add-ons, it's $15. You're going, what? $15 a day adds up. It really does. So, yeah.
Terrence, when are
Any
we
other,
getting
someone
invited?
that,
Terrence, when
Go
are we
ahead,
getting
Marilyn.
invited for dinner?
Oh, whenever you are, just not Thanksgiving dinner. I ruined that last year and I've learned from my mistakes, but definitely we
Thank
can.
you.
that's another webinar. Yeah. Anyway, someone says, ooh, they said someone said, you're all telling my business. I was debating buying an $11 tea cake. Thank you for knocking some sense into my head. At Trader Joe's cake would be good enough for $5.
You have been caught.
Bingo. It's true. It's true.
We're here to help. I'm glad we
Yes.
caught that person.
Yes, because it's hard. It's just, someone else. Oh, they said arrested. Yes. Keep the questions coming in the comments. We love them. We really do. And it's I just do the food prep and it's just easier and then I take it to work too.
Yes.
All right. Any more questions? Please keep them coming. So we'll continue on. And we'll just stop to answer your questions. Oh, go ahead.
I wanted to ask our panelists, what is one piece of advice that you each want to leave with our audience members today?
My piece of advice is when it comes to savings, that again, something is better than nothing. Should an emergency, again, life happens, at least you have something put aside, and you can always at that point in time step back and reevaluate your finances to move forward.
Yeah. I mean, there's no universal way. It's you got to do what's best for you, what's going to work best for your current situation. So just, analyze it, set that goal, and, try your best to stay on course. But if you fall off track, hey, plenty of time left. So, just keep at it.
This might not be the best advice for anyone in their late 20s, early 30s, but if you're in your early 20s, I would say just remember that money comes and goes. And I'm not saying this to tell you to be careless about your money, but definitely be smart about how you manage it, but don't obsess over every single cent, and don't drive yourself crazy trying to save for the future. You control your money shouldn't or doesn't control you. It doesn't or shouldn't control you. So just try not to let it consume you. Yeah, don't let it consume you. Money comes and goes, but be smart about how you manage your money.
For me, I would say give yourself some grace. Don't beat yourself up about it. If $5 is all you can save, that's fine. For your emergency, $10 is what you can save. That's fine as well, because those emergencies happen. I know for me it happened. I'm driving the car and all of a sudden I heard a noise and pulled over. It was my car. It cost me $500 that I was not expecting, to spend, because I was saving for a trip to Ghana. This was last summer. Luckily, I had the emergency fund, so it didn't really impact the money that I was saving and paying towards my trip, but I didn't expect that. I was thinking I was balling. I had that money extra, like, yay. And then, stuff like that happens. So give yourself some grace. And if, you're following the path of your financial journey and you fall off the wagon, just get back on and it's fine. And just continue on. All right. And let me see, we don't have any more questions in the Q&A. You guys can still keep them coming. While that's going on, I want to just thank our panelists. Thank you guys so much, Marilyn, Ryan, and Joy here, and Terrence in the background. Really appreciate all the tidbits and the tips and real life experiences that we all have had in our lives. And hopefully you guys walk away with at least one tip today that you can start implementing today, tomorrow, and the next couple of weeks and months. Any final thoughts from our panelists? All right. Well, I just want to say thank you guys again for joining us. We really appreciate it. And want to give a heads up, next week we have, and Ryan will be our person again, we have a virtual home buying forum. We have a lot of spots left, so you can still register at huecu.org/home-forum. There's so much to go with that goes into that. We had to make it 4 days and split it into different days with different panelists. So you can really dissect it. We're also going to record it. It will be on our YouTube channel at My HUECU. So if you can just attend one live and then you can watch the others on our YouTube channel, you can do that as well. So we're looking forward to seeing some of you. It will be very, very interesting and a lot of fun. I know the rates are not that great right now, but people are still buying homes and they're in the market, right, Ryan?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of information to go over, but this is the best starting point you can do it if you're in the market to be purchasing a home, because it's going to give you, an overall view of the whole process and everybody that's going to be involved with it. So it's going to be a great time. We hope you can join us.
Absolutely. Someone put, is it possible to reach out to any of us for more questions? We're going to have our email at the end so that you can send us questions at any time, because it's a lot of information that you guys are walking away with. And so, yeah. And then we also have a survey that's at the end. So please take our survey, huecu.org/survey. Tell us how we did, what we can do better, how we can improve our next round, because we have this every year. And we also have Thrive, which is our financial wellness. On there, you can actually look on different blogs, one of those blogs written by yours, Miss Jara here, right here. And we have different workshops and different sheets. So huecu.org/thrive, and have calculators right on there. You can actually do your budget on there as well. Just want to say, don't sue us. We're here to just give you some advice and some different tidbits that we have had over the years. But you can really try to go to a financial advisor and they can really talk to you about your specific needs. That's it. And then just stay in touch with us. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and go to our YouTube channel at My HUECU and see any of our past webinars. And then you can watch it on your own time. It was great having all of you. Thank you to our panelists, Terrence. Have a great afternoon and enjoy your weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, and here's the email, huecu@harvard.edu. So you can send us any questions that you like for the person who just asked, huecu@harvard.edu. Thank you so much. Have a great day, everyone.